Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday to everyone. Please come on in here and share. Like my page if you have not already done so. And then please share. Good morning and welcome to Build Your Best Life of Coach Deborah D. Smith. I am super excited as always to be able to have this opportunity to come into your space because you could be doing anything else, but you took time out to join Build Your Best Life. So thank you so much. For those of you who follow me, you know that my theme for 2022 is it's all about actions. It's all about your actions. You see, whatever you do, your words, your facial expressions, your voice tone, your writing, whatever you do, is your actions. And it is crucial because your actions are observed by people all around you, and it is what they look at. So be mindful of your actions. Now, my theme for April is releasing, building, and improving relationships. Releasing, building, and improving relationships. Many of us take relationships for granted. We think if we have a spouse as our spouse, and so however we interact or however we get along, it's all good. We do the same thing with our children. We tell them what we expect, what we want, give them the funds that we want them to have, and all is well. Our peers, our coworkers, we come in, we may speak, we may not. uh, Having activities within the department. Some of us don't even participate. And it's not about, you know, if it's something that you really, really want to do, but when you're on a team, you do things to get along with that team, show that you're in there with them, you get to know people a little bit better. So you have to work on all relationships. So this morning, my topic is building relationships. Building relationships. And again, please share. Now, I said, there I gave an example of parents and coworkers, excuse me, spouses. But we know that there are all types of relationships, all types. And uh, some of those relationships are a doctor and a patient, a lawyer and his clients, your extended family, a parent and child, your spouses, your friends, your peers, and then there are other types as well. You might be just on a project with someone at a company, so you're with them for whatever period of time that you're going to be working on that project, but you still need to build relationships. You may find it hard to believe, but any type of relationship that you are engaged in takes action. You, there's that word again, actions. Your actions speak volumes. Well, earlier I provided different types of relationships that the average person has been in or will be a part of in your lifetime. So I'm going to go back to each one of those relationships and explain to you why you have to put in some work. There's something that you have to do in order for those relationships to work. So you probably thinking a doctor and patient, that's business. Yes, but there are certain things that you may do or not do that will cause that doctor-patient relationship not to be a good one. So I hope this information will really, really help you this morning. So in your doctor-client relationships, When you go to the doctor, you have to fill out all these forms, excuse me, uh, listing all your medications, all your surgeries, all the different medical conditions you may have. So you feel like, well, I don't have to tell them anything else. Well, think about it. It is your doctor, but they have so many patients, and you want to ensure that you have a good outcome, and that outcome is based on you and your history. Therefore, you have to be open with your doctor and communicate freely. It will be difficult for them to take care of your health issues properly if you don't communicate. You can't, go to your primary care doctor, specialist, or even the ER and say, I'm in pain. Okay. There is nothing that they will be able to do to help you if they don't know the specifics. So they're going to have to know where is the pain? What's the level of the pain? How long have you had the pain? Have you been in any car accidents? Have you fallen? They're going to need to know a lot of information. If you're not willing to give them that information, it is a good chance that they won't be able to give you a good assessment because they need information in order to help you. In the same way, they can't take your money, give you orders and say, oh, go get this x-ray done, here's a prescription, or go to have this test done, and they don't tell you why. What they're thinking, they don't give you any do's or don'ts. They just say, here. They have to communicate with you as well. Well, in looking at everything that we've done today, your urinalysis test, uh, the blood work, the x-rays that we did here, and your full examination, we're thinking that it may be this. However, in order to ensure that that's what it is and it's not something else, I need you to take this test. I need you to take this medication for 3 days. Make sure you don't have any infection in your body before we go forward. But there has to be communication, releasing of information. You have to work together in order for that doctor-client relationship to work. So you can see from that it is important. Okay, a lawyer and client relationship. You're in a car accident. Well, I won't say car accident. Let's say you're in the store and water has been dripping from one of the refrigerated cases and you didn't see it. And you reached over to get some butter, slipped, fell, hit your head, and you were out for a while. You left the store via rescue. You've been going to the doctor. You're still having headaches. They say that one of the vertebrae in your neck is cracked. You're having pain shooting down your leg. Hey, you know this is going to be costly. You're going to have therapy. You want some compensation. You want help with this. So you go to a lawyer. When you can't go to the lawyer and say, well, I was in ABC store and I fell. What are they going to do with that information? You fell. So did you fall on your own? Were your shoes too large and you slipped? Were you trying to carry too much in your arms and went to reach for something else and fell? They can't do anything with that. They're going to have a specific of what store you were at, what's the location, what day it was, what time it was, what exactly happened. You probably need to see a list of any medical records that you have where you've gone to the doctor where they say, there's damage to your vertebrae or whatever. They need this information. They need to have that communication with you. You're in a relationship. Though it is a lawyer-client relationship, it is a relationship nonetheless. So there's some work that has to be done in order for there to be a good outcome. You're going to a lawyer for a reason. You want a good outcome, but if you're not willing to do your part, what do you expect of them to do? Okay? An extended family member, uh, maybe someone that you don't see very often. Uh, the last time you saw them, it may not have been a good situation, but they are a part of your extended family. If they reach out and they want to talk with you, then you need to be open enough to talk with them. It's not, well, now's not a good time. I'll talk to you some other time. I'll call you back, whatever. No, that is your extended family. You never know when that person needs you. You never know when you're going to need that person. It may just be for finding out what medical conditions they have. Your immediate family may not even remember, but that extended family member may have been someone that kept up with every member of the family, all their medical conditions, how many kids they had, what conditions they had, what's the blood type, all of that. But it is a relationship that you need to work on an ongoing basis. You don't just drop people, forget about them, and not put in any work. So every now and then, if it's someone that's not close to you, that's okay. It's probably mutual, but you want to stay in touch. Every now and then, pick up the phone and call them. If you don't want to talk to them, send them a text, send them a message on Messenger, shoot a picture out on Instagram. Do something to let them know that you haven't forgotten about them, you're thinking about them, they're important to you. All relationships are important, and there is some work that you need to do in order for them to be viable. Now, parent and child, and you know that there is a lot that goes into that because you have your child through different phases of their lives, from the time they're born, they're the baby, the toddler, in elementary school, middle school, high school, go away to college, young adult, adults. So there are different dynamics that you will run into during the course of your child's life. Good morning, Dan. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning, Peggy. Thank you for tuning in. Uh, so you have to ensure that you're connected with that child. You have to have good communication, or you're not going to um, be able to have that good, close relationship that you need to have with that child. Good morning, Elder Levette. Thank you for tuning in. So, if there is an issue going on with that child, if they're being bullied, if they someone's making fun of the way they look, or they don't like the way they look, if they are beginning to be depressed, that is something that you need to know. How are you going to know that? You're going to have to be listening, not just hearing the words and in one ear and out the other, but you have to really be listening to what they're saying, get their feelings, or if something is changing with them, you need to be able to notice that. And it's not a one-way street. It's not just, that's my child, so whatever I say, you need to take it with a grain of salt, run with it. No, that's a two-way relationship. If it's a relationship, it goes two ways. So you need to know that how you make that child feel. You may do things that is just normal to you. I came from a yelling family, so I used to yell all the time. Well, that didn't fare well with my oldest child. All that yelling. What in the world is wrong with you? So I needed to have that communication to realize, hey, When you yell at me, I just close down. I'm not gonna hear anything you say. So whatever it is that you want me to work on, I'm not gonna be able to work on it. I'm not gonna get any better because I've closed down. I'm not in. I'm all zoned out. Uh, some kids, whether you would prefer that you sit down, not in the home, but they rather you go somewhere and have a talk. You in a you're not in a familiar place, that you're out somewhere else to have that talk with you. But you need to talk with your children, not just talk at them, and make sure that you listen. A lot of times children get bullied because they don't wear certain type clothes, they don't have a certain type shoes, and that's okay. They don't have to always wear Jordans. They don't have to wear Michael Kors this and I don't know, Gucci that. I mean, all that's not necessary. As long as they're clean, their clothes are not torn and dirty, they should be good to go. However, sometimes they may ask you for something and you just say, well, you can't have it. And if you continue to just tell them no every time they ask you for something, well, I've been saving up my money and I have $100 saved and I want to get these shoes and I need $10 more, I need $15 more. And you say, nope, no, I'm not giving it to you. They're probably thinking, wow, no, I didn't just ask for something. I am trying to contribute. And they just always tell me no. Well, sometimes it may become because it's your finances. You're just one day away from the lights being turned off. You don't know how you're gonna make the mortgage payment. You're just getting by with the food in the house. You're going by food giveaways and picking up food. But you keep this from your children. Don't keep that from them. They need to know. You know, I know. I don't think that you're uh, you should base yourself on always wanting to wear name brand clothes or this or that. But it's okay sometimes. But right now we are struggling financially. Because of COVID, I don't have as many hours as I did before. And so we were on a budget, but that our income got cut pretty significantly. So I'm struggling just to make sure that we have food in the house, that you have money for your lunch. So don't think that I don't care. I'm not hearing you, but I just want to let you know how we are doing as a family. But it's not going to be this way always. It's going to get better. But let your kids know what's going on. Sometimes we think, oh, they don't need to know. They are just children. But they know a lot more than you think they do sometimes. And they may be guessing, assuming. Sit them down and explain things to them. But all of that is working on that relationship with that child. If their grades are slipping, you don't just jump on them and say, you're going to get those grades up. Find out what's going on. Are they having problems understanding the professor or the instructor? Are they just not getting the concept? Or you may even find out, well, I really didn't want to say anything, but we have assigned seating and I sit in the back and I really can't see the board. Well, they should have, felt comfortable enough with you to tell you that. But when you take time to sit down and have conversations with them, then you can pick up on these things. Hey, that's something that you need to get taken care of quickly. It's also, you don't have to make a big deal of it. You can send a letter or you can call the school and say, it's just brought to my attention uh, that my child needs classes and we have not. I just found out yesterday, so we have not got the examination done. I have to make an appointment. But I want to find out is any way possible in his classes if he can be moved up closer so that he can at least see the board or whatever. You have to make that accommodation. But if you're not communicating with your child, trying to have a relationship with them, then they can't improve their grades because they don't have what they need in order to do that. So it is essential that you work on all type relationships and especially that parent-child relationship. There's so much going on in the world today. A lot of our young people are depressed. Some are committing suicide, attempting suicide. They're being bullied. They're being cyberbullied. You need to be in communication with them. You need to know them well enough to visualize what they, not only what they're saying to you or what they may not be saying, what words are missing, what's different. So that is another relationship that you have to work on. As with a spouse, we talk about that all the time, so I'm not going to stay there long. But with a spouse, you love each other, but that's not enough. You have to communicate. You have to make sure you're on the same page. You need to make sure you have a joint plan. You're working on that plan together. If you're doing something different, why are you doing it differently? What is the issue? What is our finances looking like? What is, every aspect of the relationship looking like? What are you doing? Are you doing anything to make it better? Are you communicating? What exactly are you doing in order to make sure that your relationship is intact and it's running the way it should? It takes work. People spend a lot of time planning weddings. They want to make sure they have this nice bridal shower. It's the number one of the year. They want to have, this big lavish wedding with everything that you can think of, smoke coming from the floor and the ceiling and all kind of lights, table arrangements, 5-star photo booths, this new thing they have with a light swing around, just anything and everything. All these gifts that give every guest a gift and all of that. What about the marriage? Are you so you do all that for the wedding, but what about the marriage? Are you putting those details, spending that time, those resources in the actual marriage? That relationship is essential and it matters what you do. So you have to put the time and effort into that. And like I said, I know that's covered a lot, so I'm not going to spend any more time with that. Another type of relationship, and I spent a lot of time on this last month, are your friends. A lot of times we take our friends for granted. That's my friend. They've been my friend for 20 years. They've been my friend for 50 years. We've been friends since we were 3. And you don't have to do anything. You don't ever have to pick up the phone to call them. You don't ever wish them a happy birthday. You see that they've been on their job for 25 years. You don't just send something to say congratulations. If you don't hear from them in a while, you don't reach out to find out, well, why hadn't I heard from them? That's unusual. That's strange. You have to do work. To have friends, what do you have to do? Show yourself friendly. So you have to pick up the phone. And based on the number of friends you have and other activities you have, you may be a younger person with, smaller kids. And so a lot of your time is taken up, or you may have, you might be in retirement and you haven't picked up another gig. And so you have a lot of time. So how much time you have, but, depending on that, are you going to contact your friends once a week, once a month, every other month? How are you going to do it? And it doesn't depend on what they do. What are you going to do for the relationship? Are you going to reach out and call? Are you going to text? Are you going to send an email every now and then? You know, I know a lot of us get so busy we don't want to pick up the phone and talk. Hey, but if it's your friend, why not? I like to hear my friends' voices. I'll text them every now and then. I might send them a little animated, how are you doing or something like that. But every now and then I'm gonna pick up the phone because I want to hear their voice. I want to talk to them, catch up, see what's going on with them and their family. But I have to work on those relationships with my friends and show them that I care about them. I love them. I'm glad to be a part of their group of people. And so then, likewise, they can do the same. And if it's a relationship and for some reason it's run its course, then if you're trying to connect or whatever, then you probably find that out. So, you need to know that as well. But you want to do what you need to do in order to ensure that you are connecting and uh, doing what you need to build those good relationships. You want to build those relationships regardless of what it is. And I mentioned earlier, your peers or your coworkers. A lot of times you may be a person that doesn't really like to do anything. You may be in a department where they are really, can't think of the word, but they like to do things together, be a cohesive team, not just working all the time, but having potluck dinners or bringing some pastries in during the mornings, have team buildings. You don't want to do any of those things. That's okay if you don't want to, but every now and then it's good to participate. So let's just say, for instance, you work on a job and they bring in pastries. Somebody might bring a cake in. They may do a team building. Um, they may give each other Valentine's for Valentine's Day. They may like to decorate. Can we decorate your cubicle? No, I don't want that on my cubicle. You do all of that. You never uh, want to do anything. It's good every now and then to get up from your desk and have a chit chat with somebody, maybe for 5 minutes. Now you don't go over there and talk for an hour or whatever. But you never want to do any of these things. So you get sick, or someone in your family gets sick or passes away. And you wouldn't feel so good if you didn't hear from anybody at your job. You know what? You might not notice right away, but you get to thinking about it. Hmm, nobody said they were sorry. Nobody called to see if I needed anything. I didn't get a card. It makes you feel bad. But I wonder why. You've shown these people, don't talk to me. I don't have anything to do with you. Leave me alone. You need to interact every now and then. You can tell them, I'm not a real people person, you know, just things from my childhood. So, don't mind me. But what difference does it make, really, unless it's against your religion or something? If they're decorating the area and they want to stick a heart on your cubicle, is it going to kill you? No. Is it going to make your cubicle look cute? Yes. Come on. Do those things to build relationships. You may get sick at work. How would you feel if nobody there wanted to take you to the ER? I'll come over there, you over there moaning. Somebody hear you moaning all day. Oh, oh, help me. Nobody come to your cubicle to see what's wrong with you. Why? Because you have driven that wedge between you and everybody. Think about these things. Relationships are important. Build good relationships. Now, if you want to live in an environment where it is pleasant and not stressful most of the time, ensure you are doing your part to make the relationship viable. And I'm going to give you some tips, and I'm going to let you get on with your Saturday. My first tip to uh, help build those relationships, be a part of helping the situation in all type of relationships. The first thing is communicate. Make sure you communicate with your doctor, your lawyer, your friends, your spouses, your extended family, your children, your coworkers. Communicate. You know, sometimes an area may be having a luncheon or something, and you normally participate, and I want to participate. So everybody's like, what's going on? It could be financial reason why you don't want to participate. You could be fasting or something. Communicate. Just say, I would love to, but I am cutting back right now for a couple weeks or whatever. So thank you so much. But excuse me this time. So they don't need to know that your money tight. They don't know if you're fasting. They don't know what you're doing. You need to step back for a couple weeks. Or communicate something. Don't just sit there like a bump on a log and have people thinking, well, what is wrong with them? We need people. So communication is my first tip. Very important. Number two, listen. Listen, listen, listen. We need to listen to people when they are talking to us. Don't have your mind somewhere else on what you have going on, what you're going to be doing, what you're going to say when they finish. Listen to what they are saying. They could be calling out for help, stating that they need you, something's going on in their lives, they need help, they're crying out, I'm over here and I have low self-esteem. I'm getting depression. I just don't know why I'm here. You're not even listening. You're not catching on. They may need professional help, and you may hear that, but you have to be listening. So listening is the second tip that is essential in building relationships. Three, be honest. Be honest. You know, if whatever it is, if someone asks you something, I'm not saying you have to disclose your personal business, but you need to be honest with people, you know. Oh, how does dress look on me? If it look horrible, it's too tight, that's your friend, you need to say that. That's a pretty dress. You know how we built? It look too tight. And I know they were really tight, but it might be a couple sizes too small. You know what I'm saying? Be honest. Don't let them go somewhere looking any type of way and that's your friend. So y'all go out, you looking like all that, and they look a hot mess because you're not honest. Be honest with your friend. If they act, uh, sometimes when you don't say things, you're being dishonest. Because if you go somewhere and say you're at the table and the waitress comes over and I'll be your waitress today. May I get you some drinks? Oh, we'll wait. We're waiting on a couple people. Well, you're not on the table she has, so if she doesn't come back for 5 minutes, or she, looking and she don't see any additional people, she may be waiting for those people, so she will come back in 10 minutes. She comes back to the table, your friend. Well, I know we said we was waiting on people. What you left, you ain't come back. It's been 10 minutes. What's the problem? Give me a strawberry lemonade. Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. I thought you were waiting for more people. Can I get you a drink, ma'am? Yes, sir. When they walk off, tell them, you were rude. You were wrong. You told her we were waiting on people, and she's come by here a couple of times and looked, and nobody else has showed up. You were wrong. And so how are you going to rectify that wrong? Are you going to apologize to the waitress or waiter when they come back? Are you going to tip them to rectify your rudeness? What are you going to do? But you're not being a friend, or you're not working on a relationship or helping them build a good relationship if you're not honest with that person. Let them know that they're wrong. I hate to be at a table with someone and they're just bashing the waiter or waitress for no reason, just to try to get a free meal or a discount or something, take it off your tab. Drives me nuts. But, be honest. Number 4, have good ethics. You can only control one person, just one person, not even your children. You can only control one person, and that's yourself. So you have good ethics. And based on those ethics, interact with people in the appropriate manner. You may help them, but do what you should as far as building a good relationship by following the ethics that you know are correct. It's not good ethics to be late all the time, to be rude, not to tip, let doors close in people's faces. Have good ethics. And this is one that people, I think, rarely think about, but this is my last tip that I want to offer to you. Is ask questions. Ask questions. If you don't know something, ask. If you have a friend and you're hearing things and you're wondering, you don't assume. And if that's your friend, you don't and if that's your friend, you don't talk about them or go along with anybody else. Ask them. If you hear something, she lost her job, she might lose her house, that's your friend. You call them up. Hey, I'm coming straight to the horse. And I heard you lost your job. Did you? And I'm not being nosy. I'm calling out of concern. So why didn't you say something? Is it something that you need? No, you ask because that's the only way you're going to find out the correct information. We rather, talk to this one and that one and this one over here. Ask a person. If you don't know something, ask a question. Don't assume. You get invited to something, you don't know how you're supposed to dress. So are you going to go dress after 5? Are you going to go dress casual? What are you going to do? You're just going to show up in a tight way. Ask. I didn't see a dress attire on here. Is there a dress attire? Ask the questions. We normally have a meeting every month. I haven't got a notice. But we're not having a meeting this month. Whatever you need to know that's going to help the relationship, help you not to feel negative in any way, you need to ask those questions. So these 5 tips, I hope, are helpful to you today in how you go about working to build relationships. And it will help you. If you could please share it with other people, I would appreciate it. And I appreciate you joining me today. Like I said, you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to join me on Build Your Best Life, and I really, really appreciate that today. So thank you so much. Please join me this Tuesday for Build Your Best Life Talk with my special guest, Andrea Pratt-Smith of Nassau, Bahamas. And we're going to be talking about the blueprint for life. So please join me on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Build Your Best Life with Coach Deborah D. Smith invites you to the annual Mothers and Sons Seminar. That will be held Monday, May 2nd to Thursday, May 5th, at time 6:30 p.m. EST, each night on Facebook and YouTube. Our special guests include Denise and Henry Dinkins, Jocelyn, and Damian Charles, Anita, and Ticarius Cummings, Nick and Bryant, and John Marcus Smith. This will be a time of equipping, motivation, and inspiration. For more information, visit now www.buildyourbestlife.org.
So thank you so much. Yes, our Mothers and Sons seminar is coming up. Please, please, please put that on your calendars and plan to join us each night. So that will be 4 nights, Monday through Thursday, beginning May 2nd. So thank you so much. And remember, your life is what you make of it. Please follow my basic principles and begin to build your best life, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, but now. And please visit my website, www.buildyourbestlife.org. That's www.buildyourbestlife.org. There you can read my blog that comes out each Monday. You can see my calendar of events. If you go down on the home page to the social media icons, if you click on those, you can go directly to my pages. You can also see my services that I offer, which is coaching, consultations, speaking, and webinar speaking. You can also get an autographed copy of my book, Build Your Best Life. And it is for the entire family. It will assist and help our young men, our young adults, parents, grandparents, mentors, educators, pastors, everyone to learn how to overcome obstacles and to build your best life. So go on my website and you can get your autographed copy. It will be in the mail that same day or the next day. If you like Kindle version, you can go to Amazon.com and get your Kindle version. But thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and Sunday. And I will be looking forward to seeing you Tuesday. Bye-bye. May God bless you.